Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis, we are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Quick throw caught by Godwin. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense, just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different looks and then attacking.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Snap comes at 1, and it's Brady. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Miller. Defensively here, Charles, I'd have to imagine coming up with a game plan to stop Tom Brady. Many have tried, few have succeeded. But what do you see as their best course of action?
Well, besides stating the obvious, which is having great guys who can cover, and we know how difficult that is in the NFL, I say it's inside pressure. The guy's up the middle in his face because he's not the type of athlete who can get out to the perimeter and hurt you. He likes to step up in the pocket and throw downfield. If you have a couple of good pass rushers right in his face, right in his grill, that's your best chance to slow him down.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Play action. Now it's Brady. Going to air it out deep for Gronkowski. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Brady. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Now a play fake. Wentz. They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From midfield, here's Wentz. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Second down, another run with Taylor. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Got an open man, that's Campbell. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Big completion there on 3rd and short, keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
They'll look to run with Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Now Brady. Dancing to his left. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
To the right side and into the hands of the tight end, Granson. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Now Brady. And incomplete on the deep ball. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had. This is a diving effort by Evans. What a catch.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl.
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Brady. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And No one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Point after here coming up. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll make this a second down.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
From just shy of midfield, Wentz steps away to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. That's caught inside the 20. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
And he rifles one incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up 4th down. Try to punch it in with Taylor. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. They'll run here with Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Eluding the pressure right. And Brady able to get down as he picks up a first. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Brady. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, now Brady. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Vita Vea stopped that play in its tracks.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Meanwhile, Wentz's throw here pulled in by Hilton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he takes this one in. Touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Colts add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Campbell making the catch. And he's brought down.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a first and goal.
They'll come out in the pistol. Taylor is into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he powers his way up past the 30.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. They'll swing this out to Fournette. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Escaping the pressure right. Here's a diving catch right side. 7 yards the pickup there.
When I played in the yard as a kid, I used to imitate the spectacular catches that I would see on TV. I don't think I ever imitated one quite that well.
Come on, give yourself some credit.
No, I know better. What we just saw there, that was pretty special.
And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 31. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
From the 45 on second down. Wentz on the right side. It's Hilton with a catch. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Well, while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Wentz now on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. And obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running.
And a diving effort, but only right at the line of scrimmage.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
On first down, Wentz. Throw going to be caught left side here by Granson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
He'll buy some time right. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making...
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Brady going to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So Brady and the Bucs need to work a little magic. 3rd and long after that last sack. Fournette running out of the gun. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. They'll roll him out right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Colts are going to have the football. This defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
82 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd down at 4. Wentz to throw. That ball caught by Campbell. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So with the yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And they take a knee. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I'll bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Colts, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.